Luke, my man, thank you for coming on. How are you tonight?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Man, we are blessed. We are blessed. So, look, we titled this episode The Hammer because that's your nickname, right? But I got to know, when did you acquire this nickname?
I got that nickname my freshman year down at state. It kind of just went with my last name being Hancock. So I mean, they kind of just started. I think Tanner Allen was the one that started it, and it just went from there.
So, one day when you're like in the pros and you sign endorsement deals, you're going to have to like give him a little royalty money.
Maybe if I'm lucky enough, maybe I'll have to do that.
I understand. So, before you were the Hammer, tell everybody, where were you born?
I was born in Tupelo, Mississippi. Um, Grew up in Houston, Mississippi, small little town about 35 minutes from Starkville. So I'm Mississippi State through and through. Something that I always wanted to do, and just lucky enough to be able to do that.
Homegrown, I see. So, from Houston, let's talk about a little family dynamics. Mom or dad, siblings, are they athletes, anything like that?
Yeah, my mom and dad they both played sports in high school. My dad played baseball and basketball. My mom played softball and basketball. They're really good athletes, I think. My brother, he plays baseball at Itawamba Community College. He's going into his third year there. And my sister, she's probably the best athlete out of all of us. She's on the cheer team and she does backflips. She can do everything. So she's probably the best athlete out of me and my brother.
Well, I was going to ask, who was the best athlete, but I guess there's no need to now. It sounds like you guys all got some good genetics from mom and dad. Did they ever so they taught you at that at a young age, you get into sports and all that? You were always going to do something, right?
Right. Yeah. I started playing baseball when I was, I think 3, 4 years old. Same with my brother. He started when he was around that age. My sister never really wanted to play softball because she was always around me and my brother at our game. So she kind of got burnt out from just watching. So she never really wanted to play softball. So she got into the cheer side. I guess you would say.
I got you. So you said you started playing 3 or 4. Was baseball the only sport you played? I mean, or what? Not only that, when you started playing other sports, how old were you when you got good at something?
I guess whenever I started playing baseball, like I said, when I was 3 or 4, by the time I was 6 or 7, I was pretty good for a 6 or 7 year old. I just continued to get better, and then started playing basketball when I was around 10 or 11. Kind of going around the Tupelo area playing basketball. Played basketball in middle school, and then played football. Started playing football when I was in seventh grade. Played up until my sophomore year. So I played 3 sports as a kid, and really loved all 3 of them. But obviously, baseball is where I knew I was the best at.
Yeah. Do you think playing, because on this show, we're definitely multi-sport athletes, especially Daniel, he preaches it. You think playing the other sports helped you in your baseball?
I think so for sure. I think with football helped me out the most. Just being able to just learn about kind of like the team aspect of everything. Football is a tough sport. The practices are hard, but the games are awesome. And I think football definitely helped me out along the way, got me stronger in the weight room. It's just something that I think a bunch of kids need to do. A bunch of kids nowadays, I feel like, just play one sport growing up. And I feel like playing multiple sports can only help you. It'll never hurt you.
No, absolutely. Absolutely agree. So when you were in baseball, you played multiple positions. Is that something that you did at a young age, or when did that kind of start for you?
Right. When I was a kid, I think I started out when I was 6 or 7 playing shortstop. Played there because I had the best arm on the team, so I had to play short to make the long throw. But when I started playing kid pitches, really when I started catching, I think I was 9 when I started doing that. And then as I got older, really just started playing catcher all the way through high school. Never really played another position. But I always practiced at other positions. I would go to shortstop or second when I was in high school just to take ground balls.
No, absolutely. So obviously, growing up to be a catcher, this might be the answer to the question. But who was your favorite athlete growing up? Even if it wasn't baseball, maybe it was a different sport.
My favorite athlete growing up was Alex Rodriguez. I love the Yankees. The Yankees are my favorite team, and I had a number 13 jersey from the time I was in second grade, I took my school picture in second grade in an A-Rod jersey. So he was always my favorite growing up. And then once I started catching, I guess it was really, I just watched a lot of Yadier Molina.
Now, we brought it back around. I'm glad, obviously Alex Rodriguez, incredible talent. Nobody can ever deny that. Not such a Yankee fans on the show, but definitely Cardinals fans. So you got us back.
Yeah.
So last question before I turn you over to Daniel. When you talk about your favorite athletes, what was your favorite sports movie when you were growing up?
I think my favorite sports movie, even to this day, is probably The Sandlot. It's just something. It's a great baseball movie. It's awesome. I just love watching it. Not really a big fan of the second and third ones. I think the first one. Kind of hit everything on the head. I feel like they didn't need to make them.
I refuse to watch the second or third one, Luke. I'm with you. I've stuck with the first one. I'll never do it.
So when you last part, follow-up question to that though, when you're watching The Sandlot as a young guy, you relating more to Benny the Jet? I mean, is that who you're trying to be?
Definitely. Yeah. He was the best one out of the bunch. So I think any young kid watching that will always wants to be like Benny the Jet.
Well, you think he's gonna say Ham, even though he was a catcher? That's not who he's trying to be.
I related more to Ham myself, Luke. I'm just saying, I had to be realistic with myself.
Right.
I was pointing to the outfield, letting them know where it was going, though.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
So Luke, you obviously, you start realizing you got some talent. You go, all right, man, I'm going to develop a little bit. I'm going to take my talents to high school. When we're doing the research, we're seeing Houston High School pop up, and for us guys, we automatically assimilate Houston High School with the Memphis area, but I don't think this is the same Houston High School that we're seeing. So where is Houston High School? And tell me a little bit about the school. Is it big? Is it small? Like what kind of people we got there?
Right. Yeah, Houston's 35 minutes from Tupelo. I'm sure y'all know where Tupelo is. 35 minutes from Starkville. So it's kind of right in the middle of those two areas. Small town, little country town. Everybody knows everybody in Houston. The school is really good. The sports teams at Houston have always been pretty good. Always had a pretty good football team, baseball team, basketball team, everything. So grew up loving sports. So being able to go to Houston was a blessing for me because I always got to watch whenever I was a kid, got to watch Houston athletics, and they were always good. And whenever I got up there, we were good as well.
Yeah, man. So, we talked to athletes, we talked to some of your teammates, and they all have this missed recollection of actually how good of an athlete and some of the accolades that they had in high school. So I want to take a minute and just kind of rattle off basically your resume in high school. You got, you helped the Hilltoppers to the Mississippi High School Activities Association Class 4A state championship as a sophomore. You were a 3-time MVP, earning the honor as a sophomore, junior, and senior. You were tabbed the team captain as a junior, three-time, not one, not two, but 3-time first team all-state selection, and earning accolades as sophomore and junior and senior. You were the first 5-time all-district performer, and you were tabbed the Northeast Mississippi Coaches Association for Better Baseball 3A Player of the Year as a senior. And by the way, you lettered twice in football.
Take that for data.
A lot of data, a lot of accolades, a lot of things, that really personify who you are, the work that went in, but also just the type of athlete that you were, man. I got to ask, of all those things that rattled off, which one of those was the most important?
I think winning the state championship my sophomore year was the best thing. Houston has always been good at baseball, but they had never captured a state championship. And for me, my teammates to be able to go down there and win it my sophomore year was amazing. It's just I'll never forget it. We actually, my freshman year, went down there and got beat in the state championship. So being able to go back the next year and win it for the city of Houston was awesome. And it's just something I'll never forget.
I feel like something like that, when you do that for a school, you can go back there at any time, and you're like the king of the castle around there. Is that true? You go, you show up there like, oh man, here comes the hammer, just being here doing things.
Yeah, a little bit. It's always nice to come back and watch a game. Really, the first thing you see when you walk into our baseball field at Houston is a banner or is a picture of us winning right after winning the state championship, holding it up. So being able to see that it's always nice being able to do that. Really, since I've been in school at state, haven't really had the opportunity to go back much, but every time I have, it's been awesome. And just walking down the stairs and seeing that hanging up, it just reminds me of something special.
At least you get to do that because your teammates, Cade Smith and Cameron James, they don't get to do that at DeSoto Central because Austin Riley steals all the clout. So their state titles go under the radar.
Yeah, whenever you go to a school like that and you got Austin Riley,
Blaze.
the baseball player that he is, Blaze, being the baseball player that they are, you kind of get overshadowed. I mean, that school has produced some unbelievable baseball players.
But I heard a story from Greg James that they played travel ball against you, and you came on the scene at I think he said you were like 12 or 13, and he said you hit home run after home run after home run against them. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Me and Cam would always tell everybody that whenever we'd be in the locker room or something before a game or after practice, he would always be like, Luke's the best USSSA baseball player that he had ever seen, which I mean, I highly doubt that. But yeah, me and him used to give each other crap about it all the time.
How old were you when you hit your first over the fence home run?
I think I was 7. I think I was 7. We were playing in a tournament over at West Point, and I can remember my first home run hit the very top of the fence and then bounced over.
At 7.
Yeah, I think it was 7.
Daniel said 3.
Yeah, I actually have actual soundbite from you as a 3-year-old hitting off the tee in a game. Just give it a listen.
I can't really hear it.
Yeah, didn't come off loud enough.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, it's you hitting the ball out of the park, man. You're crushing it.
I actually think I know the video you're talking about.
That Little League World Series, dude, he hit it and pimped it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would do it upright if I ever in a big situation or a big moment hit a bomb, and I'm not talking about like a Little League 200 field fence bomb. I'm talking about like big boy, like
Jim.
300.
Why this man lying to us like this?
Yeah. Hey, Luke, this man is lying straight to your face because look, Randy is a Tennessee fan. And Daniel has made it clear because Daniel was a pitcher in college. Daniel has made it clear that he would earhole every one of these Tennessee guys because of the way they flip the bat.
He would earhole any. I'm not saying we do it to you, Luke, but if you bat flipped or he just looked like you were or even looked in his direction,
I'd be like,
next time you come
Luke,
up,
I'd be like, Luke, did you just sneeze on my plate? On my plate.
And unlike that Little League video that's trending right now, Luke's not coming to hug you on the pitcher's mound either. He's coming to whoop you. Have you seen that video yet?
Yeah, look. I saw it. I think I saw it earlier today on Twitter. Yeah, it was. I've never seen that before.
That kid's a lot better person than I am.
I know, man. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that, but I don't want to make anybody mad. So I'll redirect it back to you, Luke. And we talked about baseball, but you were a good football player. What position were you in high school, and did you bounce around position to position, or were you just pretty much set on one and you just did your thing?
I got called up to help our varsity team when I was in 8th grade. We were kind of struggling a little bit, so I played a little quarterback then. Didn't play a lot. Just really played in the second half. If we were winning by a lot or losing by a lot, I'd go in and really just hand the ball off. But once I got to high school, I played defense, played outside linebacker for our team. Wanted to play a little receiver, but our receiver core was good, so I just stuck on the defensive side. Love playing defense. It was I really enjoyed defense a lot better than I did playing offense.
So on Sunday, when you have the opportunity to sit in front of the TV and watch some NFL football, what team you following? What team you watching?
Well, I got to root for the Cowboys just because of Dak.
My man, my man.
Oh,
I mean,
See,
Mississippi State guy, best football player in Mississippi State history. Gotta root for the Cowboys with as long as he's playing for him, I'm always gonna root for him a little bit.
there you go. See, these guys just got really upset because I am a Cowboys fan, and you made this interview by saying that.
look, I was in Omaha, Daniel, and while Dak was there, I actually remember what Mississippi State football player was the most hyped down in the lobby, and it's actually Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans. So that's who you should be a fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
I'm
we-
a fan of him too. I actually played against him in high school. He probably
Oh,
don't
good
remember.
Lord.
But yeah, my sophomore year, we were in the same division as Knoxville County, so we had to play them in the regular season. Then we played them in the third round of the playoffs that year. And I can remember second play of the game, he was playing fullback and he was blocking me, and he knocked me about 15 yards into their sidelines, and that's all. I felt like I was running to a brick wall. So yeah, I asked him about it one time when I was at school. I said, "Do you remember you knocking the crap out of me?" He said, "Man, I used to do it to everybody. I don't remember it."
He said, I did that to everybody. You think I'm supposed to
Yeah,
remember you?
Yeah,
So,
he was
I
a
mean,
beast.
what kind of talent, I guess, for football? I mean, you're playing guys like that, but like, are you playing like big time schools, or like who's the best team you played against in football, and who's the best athlete that you played against?
Our division was always really good, but in non-division games, we were 4A every year up until my senior year. So we always played in non-division games, like 2 or 3A schools that were good. And then division was really good. It was Houston, Knoxville County, Louisville, League Central. So division games were good, but Knoxville County is the best team that I ever played against. I think they won the state championship 3 years in a row when we were in high school. So they were always really good. But I think the best athlete that I ever played against, we played Corinth in the playoffs my sophomore year. I don't remember the kid's name, but he was a quarterback, and he was the hardest person I ever had to tackle. He was really good. I think he went on to play a little JUCO football, and then I think he went to a small D1, but he was really good.
Out of curiosity, did you ever have to face Will Rogers?
No, never played Will Rogers at Brandon. They're 6A and we were 4A. We never really went above 4A when I was in high school, but Houston does now.
So, shifting gears back to baseball, you spent, years at Houston. What was your favorite season of all those seasons? And obviously don't pick the state championship one just because of the level, but like the actual environment, the team, the culture, like when you put the whole body of work together, what was your favorite year?
Well, I think it was really 2 years, my junior and senior year, being able to play with my brother. That was awesome. Just being able to play with him. It was cool because I'm 2.5 years older than him. So I never got to play with him growing up. And then my junior year started playing with him, and it was awesome for him to be on the team with me, for me and him to be on the same field together. He batted lead off for us, and I batted second. So it was those two were probably my favorite years besides the state championship. But yeah, being able to play with him was awesome.
So did you play travel ball with your brother too?
No, when I was 13, he was 11. So me and him never got to play travel ball together, but we both played for the East Coast Sox, just different age groups, one summer, I think.
So at what point, in your career do you start going, man, like people are starting to notice me. I got colleges that are now starting to notice me. Maybe I have, what it takes to play at the next level.
Right. Yeah, I think my freshman year is really whenever I started kind of getting college interest and started going to camps. I went to a few Mississippi State camps, a couple Ole Miss camps, just trying to get my name out there, and did really well at them. And then Mississippi State started talking to me, and I had the luxury of being able to play with Denver McQuarrie. He was on my high school team. He played at Mississippi State, so being able to catch him in high school helped a lot. Play with another really good pitcher, Tanner Smith. He was committed to Ole Miss for a little while. So being able to catch them always helped me. But yeah, really my freshman year is when I kind of started realizing that I would have opportunity to play at the next level at D1.
So what was the short list? Obviously you see that you are getting some interest. When it's all said and done, who do you have to decide from? Like, what are 3 schools that at the end of it you're like, all right, I got to pick one of these?
Well, for me, it was really easy. I only really ever had one school in mind. It was Mississippi State, and they were the first team to offer me. So I mean, it was just a great dream come true for me to get an offer by them. And I think whenever they offered me, I committed like a week later. I knew that was where I wanted to go. It's just growing up 30 minutes from them as a young kid. That's where I wanted to go. So it was a no-brainer for me.
What took you so long? 7 days?
I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, I was just kind of talking with my family, just seeing what they wanted me to do, and they told me whatever I wanted to do. So, yeah, about a week after is whenever I committed.
Randy, I heard he took a trip to Oxford. Is what he doesn't want to admit.
Oh,
on the
no, I
podcast.
don't think so.
That's what happened.
I can't even believe he went to Ole Miss baseball camps, to be honest.
I bet Mississippi State had the admissions packet already done for you, and they had dated it, and they were like, "What's going on, man? Well, now we're gonna have to change the date on this. We thought he was a layup, taking 7 days, making them sweat it out."
It might have not been 7 days. It might have been a little shorter than that. Somewhere in that range, 5 to 7 days. I don't really remember.
So honest question, when we're talking about you picking those schools, and I made the joke about Ole Miss, you went to the camp like Randy just said, but like being a Mississippi State fan and growing up, like was Ole Miss somebody that like you would even consider, or was automatically like, I'm not, because I'm a Mississippi State guy, Ole Miss is off the table?
No, not necessarily. I mean, really anywhere. I mean, Ole Miss is a great school. Just being able to go play anywhere in the SEC would have been a dream come true for me. But like I said, with growing up a Mississippi State fan from the time I was a young kid, it was just a no-brainer for me.
So obviously that's where you wanted to go. It's a dream. So what are the emotions like? Is there pressure now that you've gotten what you worked hard to get, or is it just like this relaxed feeling, or are you just overly excited? What are the emotions when you actually step foot there on the first day?
Right. I think my freshman year, I mean, I was overly excited. I was over the moon about it. But as I've gotten older, and this being my 5th year down there, I've really relaxed. It's just feel like it's another game for me. I don't have to press out there. Don't have to get my emotions up to play. I just go out there and just play baseball like I have for 20 years now. So it's just something that has relaxed over the years, and hopefully continues to do that.
So I gotta ask, because your teammates, when they come on, they say kind of the same thing, but there's such an acumen that Mississippi State baseball has, from national championships to going to Omaha to like unbelievable fan base. Like the expectations when you show up are super high. Is there a little bit of fear, anxiety, and nervousness, or is it's none of that exists?
No, I think it exists. I mean, playing down there, I feel like if you don't get nervous a little bit, then you don't care. I get nervous. I mean, everybody gets nervous. I feel like you get nervous after the first pitch, everything is just baseball after that. I can remember starting my first game down there, and I can remember just being nervous, just shaking in my boots. And it was just something that once that first pitch happened, I was fine. And after that, it's just baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you got you got exactly what you signed up for that first season. You guys, you ended up going making the super regionals, hosting regionals, hosting super regionals, making it back to Omaha. Man, what was that atmosphere like, just from one, like it's almost to me like this really high of emotions. You go from making a regional to hosting it. You win that, you then boom, it ratchets up another level to super regionals where you're hosting it. Then boom, you're in Omaha where you have a chance to win a national championship. What is that atmosphere like? And starting from the regional to College World Series, is it the atmosphere the same, better as you go on, or more better because you're at home, hosting those things?
Well, being at home definitely has a big difference for us. We get to play in it every game, and then when people come in the regional and super regional, it's their really most of the time their first time being there, so they have to kind of deal with our fans. It gets loud there, like nowhere else in the country. It's I mean, I can only imagine going in there as an opposing player. I'm sure it is intimidating, but for us to be able to play there at home every game there, it's just something that we're used to. We don't get nervous about it as much. So I think we definitely have a home field advantage during that. And then in Omaha, it's I think when Mississippi State goes to Omaha, it becomes Starkville North. It's just something that I've never seen before. It's crazy out there. I felt like both times that I've been out there that it's everybody you see in Omaha has maroon and white on.
I mean, Jim can attest to that because he was there. Is that the case, Jim? Is everybody a Mississippi State fan in Omaha when they go?
Yeah, no doubt. The year I went, but I wasn't there the year before. But definitely the year I went, it was them in Texas showed up like nobody's business.
You know who didn't show up? Vandy.
But we'll get there in a second. You're getting ahead, Randy.
Yeah.
I just always like to throw shots at Vandy.
So as a freshman, you guys, make it to the biggest stage of them all. You go to Omaha in the College World Series. Did you ever expect as a freshman, one, to do that, but also to be able to play and have an integral part of you guys like making it there?
Man, I really can't. I mean, the year before I was playing at Houston High School, and then the next year we're out in Omaha playing. It's a big difference for me. I don't think I got in at bat. I don't think I got in any when we were in Omaha. But just being out there was just something so surreal. It was awesome, and I think that it helped me along the way. Just get ready for what I had in store for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, despite not playing in Omaha, you still appeared in 26 games. You had 12 starts. You started 4 games at catcher, 8 games as a DH. You personally looking back on the freshman season, was it better than what you anticipated, or was it right on par with what you thought you would be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was right on par with where I thought I could do. I just tried to help the team any way I could, whether it was catching a midweek game, DHing on the weekends or in a midweek game. Most people don't go down there as a freshman and play every day. You got to be a really special talent to be able to do that. And for me, just to be on the team and be able to just help them out as much as I could was just something that was amazing for me.
Yeah, no doubt. So, obviously y'all make that run to Omaha. That's back-to-back seasons, obviously. So the expectations for Mississippi State are high. Sophomore season, not even going to talk about it. COVID, we know it sucks. No reason to even dive into it. So we'll go right into junior year. And it starts off with the State Farm Showdown in Arlington, at Globe Life Field. I was actually supposed to be there, got snowed in, couldn't get my car out the driveway. But what was it like to be at Globe Life Field, Major League ballpark, playing against 3 legit Big 12 opponents?
Oh, man, it was awesome. It was, I think it kind of set the tone for us that season. Opening up with Texas and Ty Madden, which I think he's probably one of the best pitchers I've faced in college. was really talented. He was great, and just being able to go out there and play against 3 top 10 teams to open the weekend, coming home with 2 wins was huge for us. And being able to play in the Rangers' new ballpark was awesome. It's, state of the art ballpark. It's amazing. I think it was 20 degrees outside, and we're inside playing baseball. So it was awesome being able just to do that, because I don't think anybody else really got to play that weekend.
Was that the only pro stadium you could still go to and it still be a downgrade from Duty Noble, though?
Probably so.
Yeah, no, it was kind of funny. This is off topic, but it relates to what Randy's saying. When y'all were playing AutoZone Park this year, I said something about y'all playing in a AAA park, and then Randy brought it to my attention. He goes, they actually got 5,000 less seats than Dude does, and I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. So it's one of those things where like you got to go to a big league park to get bigger than y'all. But speaking of the Dude, my first 3 games there. And you might remember we brought this up. I went to Sanford, Kentucky, and Missouri, and you hit a bomb in all 3 of them. I met your dad that day. He told me I was to come out to every game. Now, the problem was Cameron James, who I was there for, doesn't like to do well when I come. So Greg James had told me the same day that your dad told me to come to every game that my ticket privileges were revoked and I wasn't allowed to come back. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep coming, but I did want to ask about a specific home run, and I can't remember which one it was from those 3 games, and see if you remember. There was one that you hit, and it left the ballpark in such a hurry, over the Dude sign, into the parking lot. Do you remember which one that was?
I think it was the Kentucky one. I can remember that one. I think that was the farthest one I hit that year, and it was a line shot. It got out. Yeah, I remember that one. It got out in a hurry. I think it was first pitch of the inning too. I was leading off the inning, got up there and swung a first pitch fastball and put a good swing on it, and just so happened it went out.
Yeah, that thing left in a hurry, and I was like, hey, now I know why it's nicknamed the Hammer. But like I
like
said,
it where he's like, I think it was the first pitch, and I think it was Kentucky. That man's seeing in his head right now.
Yeah. But it was crazy. It's like every game I was coming to, I was like, man, and like I said, it matched your nickname. But a 2021 stat that want to talk about is your ability not to strike out. If you weren't at the game and you were listening to commentary on TV, it was something they talked about, how you had such a professional approach at the plate. You only had 17 strikeouts in 234 at bats. Is that just seeing the ball well? Is that knowledge of knowing what the pitcher is going to throw? You walked 47 times, which led the team. What led to that success?
I think the main thing that helps me out is just being a catcher my whole life and being able to recognize pitches the way, just from catching so much. Having a good knowledge of the strike zone, and I try not to swing at bad pitches. Sometimes I don't swing the bat enough. Sometimes I'm not aggressive enough and let good pitches go by. But just having good strike zone awareness is something that I've always been pretty good at. In high school, it was the same way, and then it just kind of transferred over into college. So I'm glad I have good strike zone awareness for sure.
Yeah, because you always do the 2 bumps on the chest when you got 2 strikes, and I can't even think of how many times I've seen you in like a 0-2 or 1-2 count, and they still couldn't get you. Even if it necessarily didn't end in a hit, you were definitely going to put it in play, and sometimes that obviously leads to runs, even if it isn't an actual hit. But you guys have a disappointing series loss to Missouri, and then you're 2-done in the SEC tourney. We've had a lot of your teammates on to ask what was going through their head at the time. What's going through yours? You have this season, you have this expectations. We talk about, Omaha or bust is the way it is for Mississippi State, and y'all have this disappointing stretch. What's going through your head?
They were really disappointing losses for us. But we just had to get them out of our mind as quick as we could, because we knew right after the SEC tournament that we were most likely going to be hosting a regional and super regional. We just had to get them out of our minds as quick as we could. Get back to Starkville, get back practicing, having good days of practice, and we did that after the SEC tournament. I don't know if anybody has said this, but after we got back from the SEC tournament, Coach Lamonis said, y'all get away from the game for a couple of days. We had 2 days off, and then we come back on Monday and started practice for the regional. So I think those 2 days off were huge for us. Coach Lamonis is great, and he understands everything about the game. So him being able to give us those 2 days off was huge for us, and he got our minds right back on the game, right where it needed to be.
Yeah, no, we weren't actually told that. My question for you would be, did Cameron James take that advice? Because, I mean, I know Cam really well, and he's the kind of guy that you can't keep out of the batting cage for 24 hours. Did he actually take 2 days off?
I'm not sure about Cam, but I know most of us, we took them 2 days off and just got away from the game, especially after the SEC tournament. We needed to get away from the game after getting run ruled both games. So I think it was good for us.
Yeah,
Play
no
some
doubt.
golf while you were off those 2 days.
I'm sure we did. I don't remember what we did, but I'm sure we did go play some golf.
So earlier, Daniel was discussing with you about hosting regionals and super regionals, and obviously y'all took care of business in regionals. I want to go to the super regionals, man, against Notre Dame, like record-setting crowds. Obviously, man, 2 highly competitive teams. Just, I mean, how crazy was it being a player on that field? You talked about you'd been there before, obviously, you know, with the regionals, super regionals, but that had to hit different, man. What was that like?
It did. I really can't put into words how special it was. It was just something that I feel like I wish every Mississippi State player that's ever played at State could experience. I remember running out after the umpires meeting, and the place just erupted as we're going on the field. I mean, everybody, you have chills as you're running to your position. You're just standing there thinking about all the fans and how loud they are. It's something that I'll never forget. But after that first pitch, it's just baseball after that, and play some good baseball that weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. And, you know, Landon Cam, Logan Tanner, they've all said the same thing, talking about Notre Dame. I want to see if you agree. They said that they prepared you for Omaha because they said easily they feel like they were the best team you played, even including the teams in Omaha. You feel the same way?
100%. I've told multiple people that Notre Dame was the best team we played that year. They had a grittiness about them. They played the game the right way. They played defense. They could hit. They could pitch. I think us and them were real similar baseball teams. And but yeah, like they said, I think they were the best team that we played, and they did prepare us for Omaha for sure.
Yeah, because even this latest season, you know, Randy is, like I said, a Tennessee fan, and when he saw that they drew Notre Dame, he was, first of all, same thing you just said, gritty veteran. And then he was like, they just played in the Dude the year before the Super Regionals. They're not going to be scared to come to Knoxville. So, like, you know, shout out to Notre Dame.
It's a bunch of grown-ass men.
Yeah, they were. And I don't think they lost really anybody from that team from 21, maybe their first baseman, but everybody else was back. And I knew that they were going to be a tough out.
Let me tell you what Jim did to me, man. So Notre Dame dispatches of Tennessee, and then like the very next Monday or something, he brings Jack Brannigan on this very podcast, and I'm looking at him like I'm looking at you. and what made it even worse was he was like so humble and gracious. He's like, "Oh man, it's a great team. They deserve it." I'm like, nah.
Yeah, but that was tough for you to be sitting there talking to him.
Good dude though. He really made it hard you couldn't dislike the guy.
And
Right.
remember, it was Cameron James that set that up, so you could think a Mississippi State player for setting up the Notre Dame guy.
Well,
too.
of course he did. He's like, I don't like Tennessee. Bring Jack Brannigan on.
Yep. All right, so I got to ask you a tough question, man. You know, Josh Hatcher is a 2-time guest of this show. You know, he was the first baseman, and you know he had struggles. We talked about it on here. So we're not saying anything that he didn't admit himself. You know, obviously he reinvented himself at Kennesaw State this year. But for you, as a guy he's your teammate, he's your friend, and you know you take over first base where you know what is the emotion like when you do that? You know, obviously you're going to play where Coach puts you. You're going to be excited to take the field, but it's like, is there some kind of, you know, is it kind of bittersweet?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. Me and him are really good friends, and it was tough for me. But he was a great teammate, great friend to me, just helping me out along the way. If I ever needed to ask him anything about the position, he was always there for me, and it was awesome for him to still be a really good friend to me and an even better teammate to me. So for him to be able to do that was awesome. And but yeah, man, it was a tough situation.
Yeah, because I remember when Cameron got moved to third, he said the same thing. And, because it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity, and obviously, it's as an individual, you want to play and you want to do your thing, but you hate seeing other guys struggle, you hate taking their position, and so that's why I wanted to ask you about it. But like you said, killed it at Kennesaw, ended up getting drafted by the Rangers, so it all worked out for Josh.
Yep.
But this past season, not as much fun as the year before, obviously. You had a lot of veterans leave, a ton of injuries in the pitching staff, but let's talk about a couple of the good things. We're not going to harp on the bad. I wanted to talk personally about you in April. You went on a tear. You had 10 home runs, including 2 at Arkansas. So even in a down year, and some of those being losses, you still found a groove, man. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Whenever we got to Arkansas, I was struggling real bad. I think I was over my last 15 or so, over my last 16. So I was struggling pretty bad. And I think the first night at Arkansas went 0 for 4, and then 1 for 4 the next day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, kind of just turned it around for me. I think I had 3 hits that day, and then it just carried over to the next couple weeks. So after I saw that first hit on Saturday, I gained my confidence back. I kind of lost my confidence there for a couple games. Everybody goes through it, I feel like. But yeah, being up there at Arkansas and doing that at Baum Walker was huge for me personally. Just having a good series, and then it just carried over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's one of those things because I never played baseball. And so for me, Luke, I don't understand as much, but I was able to relate immediately because I was there the game where Kellum Clark broke out. He had that 1 for like 23 slump. And then once he got that single, then he hit a home run. And then next thing you know, he's on a tear. And it's funny how that works for you guys. It's like basketball players. Sometimes they got to just make a free throw or a layup. And then, next thing you know. And so it's funny how that works for you guys. And then you caught that groove. But the other one I wanted to ask about, I was there for the whole series in Oxford, and we were having fun kind of poking at Ole Miss. Such an entertaining series, man, competitive, packed out. How much fun is it to go into Swayze, into Oxford, and to win that series?
Oh, it was awesome. After losing on I guess Thursday night, we knew that we had our backs against the wall, and just going in there Friday and really just kind of I guess dominating from the first pitch on was awesome. Just being able to go into Oxford and take 2 out of 3 from them is special to begin with. We thought it was gonna kind of get us going. It got us going there for a little bit, but we knew we had to have those games, and we went in there and took 2 or 3 from them in Oxford. So it was awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't get going. I thought it was going to as well, but is what it is. So we're moving on, and we're coming into this season. And the thing that everybody, is talking about is you deciding to come back. I was watching on Twitter, everybody was speculating, is Luke coming back? And it was really good because it was you and Casey like announcing it basically within the same week and everything. And so it's good to have veteran leadership coming back next year with you guys and among a bunch of other guys. The question I need to ask, though, is, you talk about catcher your whole life. Logan Tanner is no longer in your way, man. Are you going to be catching?
I hope so. I mean, that's what I want to do. I know that we have some really talented catchers coming in from high school. So you're just gonna play it by ear, but hopefully I'll be the catcher. Really, I mean, like you said, with Logan being there, he's one of the best catchers in the country.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. No blame there.
No. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of him from yesterday of the block and the throw that he had. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do so far. I mean, being in there for like a week and he's already doing that kind of stuff. So being behind him was all good. But now hopefully I will catch a lot more. That's what I want to do. That's position that I want to play.
Yeah, the wild thing about him is when we had him on here, talking to him, and he wasn't even recruited as a catcher and didn't play catcher, and then you see what he's doing, and it's like, Really? You didn't play catcher till you got to college, and he's unbelievable. So, I know it was hard, playing you had to play behind that guy, but you learned some things probably too. Even as somebody who's a catcher, y'all probably had some sessions together and helped each other and develop, and it'll help prepare you for this year. Cause I know you ain't gonna let these young cats come in and take that from you. Let me ask you though, did you enjoy first base? Cause you said growing up, you were playing shortstop and you're playing catcher, but I mean, obviously it's not DH. Did you enjoy playing first base?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it being over there and just being involved in the game more than I was at DH. I mean, I felt like at DH for me, I would, if I had a bat at bat, I would think about it for 2 innings, and then whenever you're at first, you can't really think about it. You just have to, you got to play that position, so you have to be in tune with every pitch. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it over there, but like I said, I enjoy catching way more. Just have always done it, and I feel like that's what I'm best at.
Yeah. So too early preseason top 25 came out, obviously long ways away, but they got Mississippi State at 23. Me and Randy were asked to do one, which we felt privileged to do. And we put y'all at 19, talked about returning guys. You got Cade, you got Kellum, Casey, Hunter, Hines, others. You got the recruits like you talked about, you got transfers. So you got to be feeling good about this team. Obviously I just said we're a ways out, but I mean, is there already some good, motivation? Do y'all feel really good about what you got coming back, what you got coming in, feeling like you could get back to playing Mississippi State baseball the way it's meant to be played?
Yeah, I think so. I talked a lot with Coach Simonis before the draft and after the draft, and he said, "Man, we're working hard trying to get good players in here." And from what I've seen with some of the transfers that we've gotten, I think we're going to have some good transfer pieces. We're going to have good freshmen come in, and like you said, we're going to have some returners that have played meaningful SEC baseball games, and I think experience is one of the best things that you can have for a team. So I think, yeah, I mean, I think that we're going to be good. I mean, I think Mississippi State will be good every year, long after I'm gone from here. But we'll see here I think we start school next week, so we can get the fall rolling. So I'll kind of know more as the fall goes on. But yeah, I think we'll be pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. And we look forward to it. And I'll always be at games with the dude, because that's what I'm going to end with before I let, Randy play a game with you. They mentioned me being in Omaha, and, I've told every Mississippi State baseball guest on here, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because my son, he's now abandoned LSU. He bleeds maroon and white all the way through. He said Omaha was his favorite trip. This man has been to Disney World and other places. He loved every part of it, whether it was watching you play games, getting to take pictures, get autographs, all the different aspects that came with it. And so, man, I just want to tell you that was his favorite trip. Y'all are his favorite team. And thank you guys for giving us the ultimate ride and winning a national championship.
Oh yeah. It's, you don't have to thank me. I mean, we just went out there and played baseball, just tried to have as much fun as we could. And we got lucky enough to be able to raise that trophy. So yeah, it was awesome.
So look, you're kind of off the hot seat. We're going to play us a little game, man. And look, this is the way of the game. It's called This or That. And there's only a couple rules, right? I'm going to give you 2 options. And then the rules are you can't say neither and you can't say both. You down?
All right. Sounds good.
So I'm going to start you off. Usually we start them off with a little cookie, but this one's tough, man. My producer wrote this in. You want the Sunday black unis back or retire them forever?
Retire them forever.
Oh man, I love the blacks.
They do look good. They do look good.
They do look good, but yeah, I gotta say retire them forever.
I mean, y'all retired them. We did a poll on this podcast, and they actually finished second among best uniforms, and then y'all retire them right after.
Yeah, I think they saw our poll. They're like, if we can't win, we don't even want them.
Yeah,
all the fans loved them. I mean, I feel like that was kind of Jake Mangum. That was like their thing whenever he was there. And but yeah, I gotta retire him.
All right. Next question: would you rather have better hair or better beard?
Better beard.
We had a guest on that thought you would say that. Jim, fill him in.
Yeah, RJ Yeager was talking about how he had a mustache because he couldn't grow a beard. And then he started talking about the infield, and we were like, yeah, so probably Cameron, I don't think can grow any facial hair. Lane can't grow any. And he goes, and then he stopped. He goes, you know what, man? Luke is the distinguished gentleman. He cares about his beard. So we learned that.
I mean, you can always put a hat on if you don't have good hair, but if you got a good beard, everybody sees your beard every day. They're not going to see your hair if you got a hat on.
That's true. I can't grow a beard. So anyways, we're on to the next question. I don't like this one. All right. So if you could only pick one of these two, a concert or a sporting event?
Sporting event.
All right. Now the next question, the follow-up to that is, what sporting event would you choose? It could be, lately it's been NBA Finals, Super Bowl, whatever it is. What would it be?
I think the World Series. I think the World Series would be awesome to go to.
You might be the first person I've heard say that, but I agree with you. I think the World Series
would be what I would pick. So,
no, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, I mean, just in baseball. I mean, I think it's got to be the World Series.
You want to be in the new Yankee Stadium watching a World Series, huh?
For sure.
They just might be there. Might be there.
You better hope they don't play the Cardinals again, Luke. I'm just saying. But would you rather see the future or change the past?
Oh, probably see the future.
What do you want to see, Luke?
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't want to see what my life would be in the future. I just want to see what like in 50 years, what the world will look like, I guess.
I got you. Okay. That's solid. All right. Next question here. Hero or villain? Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
I would rather be a hero.
Who's your favorite superhero, Luke? And why is it Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess Spider-Man. I guess that's really the first.
That's a better answer.
Movie. I guess that's the first superhero movie I ever watched. So yeah, I gotta say Spider-Man.
Look, Randy, he continues to build. You know, my son already loves Mississippi State. He loves Luke. Spider-Man's his guy. Just keep building.
I dig it. All right, you're the first person we've ever asked this question to on the show, because I wrote these, right? Would you rather be in outer space or the bottom of the ocean?
Outer space. I hate the water.
You afraid of like sharks, man? Because I'm definitely afraid of sharks.
I'm not afraid of sharks. I don't like the water though. I don't know why.
So you're not afraid of sharks? You think you'd fight a shark, Luke?
I don't think I could fight one, but I'm not afraid of them.
Randy, the interesting part is we did have a question similar or at least we had, remember, pool or ocean to Josh Hatcher. And he said pool because he was afraid of the water. Interestingly enough, you boys who play first base at Mississippi State scared of the water.
Yeah, I would definitely say pool over the ocean too. You don't know what's under you in the ocean. You know what's under you in the pool.
That's big facts. And I'm probably not going to get stung by a jellyfish in the pool. I'm just saying. All right. So the next question, if you're watching a movie or whatever it is, you're going to pick a horror movie or a comedy movie?
Comedy.
You got a favorite comedy movie, Luke? Mine's Super Troopers, Luke. I just think it's funny every time.
I think my favorite comedy is probably The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Very funny.
He went with your guy too. Mark Wahlberg's your dude, Randy.
Mark, baby. Let's go. All right, Luke.
He's a good one.
He is good. Would you rather lose your sight or lose your hearing?
Ooh, probably my hearing.
Yeah, I need to see, right? It's kind of like the ocean thing. I need to be able to see it. I can learn sign language, but I can't learn to see you.
That's exactly right. That's what I was just about to say. You can learn sign language and kind of communicate that way.
I know just enough sign language now where people know what I mean when I put my hands up. You know what I mean? All right, last question. You're going to get off the hot seat here. Would you rather have massive success by accident or modest success on purpose? And let me rephrase this, because I always do this. If I was to say, Luke, I'm going to give you $100 million or you're going to earn $20 million, which one are you taking?
Earning the 20 million. I think just working hard. I think that's what I would want to do. Just earn it.
I respect that. I respect it, and I do believe you, Luke. But let me tell you this: why you want to be $80 million more poor? Because you want to earn it.
20 million is still a lot.
Randy,
I like it.
Randy,
it ain't 100.
Randy, all these cats keep saying they work for the 20. I wish we had 100 million to put them on the spot and find out the truth.
Well, the only person that we could bring on the podcast that could really answer that question is Austin Riley.
And
Yeah,
everybody we ask don't have kids.
It's a totally honorable thing. I just
Yeah.
think at my stage of life, when somebody says I'm gonna give you 100, shit. All right, I ain't gotta earn nothing. Let me go.
Guys, I'm gonna ask you a question with Luke here. You know, Austin's a 2-time guest. Now that he's got the bag, is he gonna be a 3-time guest or is he gonna be
Absolutely,
big time?
man.
I'm just wondering, gonna big time us now.
He's not gonna big time us, man. That's not who he is.
No, I don't feel like he's like that.
No, he actually said he's going to spend his money on hunting land. That's what he actually talked about what would happen if he got his contract. He said he was going to buy the biggest piece of hunting land he could find.
And
Luke's like, good news. I'll call him up.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, well, Luke, man, before you get out of here, you want to plug or promote anything?
No, man. I mean, I think I'm good. I don't have anything to plug or anything like that. Just want to say thank y'all for having me on. It's been awesome.
Absolutely, man. We hope to have you back this 5th season. You guys got a lot of guys coming back. It's probably got potential to be special again. It really does, man. But to help you out, if y'all want to know, it's the off season, but if you want to know what Luke Hancock's up to, go on over to Instagram, type in there at Luke_Hancock13. You'll be able to check in on him, see what he's doing. I can tell you he's not going to be in any body of water, but he's going to be doing something.
Yeah, gonna be doing something.
But once baseball season rolls around, roll over, check them out at Hell State BB. You'll get the latest and greatest on Mississippi State baseball. Luke, man, I appreciate you joining us. If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. And, good luck this season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me again. It was a blast.
Absolutely. That's Luke Hancock. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, and feedback is always welcome. We'll be back next week. We got episode 7 coming at you where we got Chad Jones, the LSU football star and the New York Giants football star. He'll be joining us, telling us his story. But until then, this has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We out.